Today we're making meat triangles. So the first thing that you have to do is cut 2 medium to large size onions into approximately 2 pounds of 85% ground beef. Chop the onion and add it to your skillet. I like to heat up my skillet without oil for a couple minutes to get it nice and hot. Okay, add your oil to the bottom of your pan. And let it get nice and hot. Okay, once your oil is nice and hot, you want to add your onions. On a medium to low flame. And you want to saute them until soft, not brown and crispy, just soft. I like to season my onions separately with a little bit of salt. Okay, that should take a couple minutes. The onions are just about ready. They're soft and slightly translucent. So the next thing that you want to do is add your 85% ground beef, 2 pounds approximately, to your onions. And you want to cook it until the meat is brown on a medium flame. At this time, you could season with salt and pepper to taste. Usually I like to use white ground pepper when I cook. Sprinkle a little on the top. Mix in the onions. Keep pushing it down with a fork as it cooks. For me, it's better to start off with fresh chopped meat, not with chopped meat that's been frozen. Chopped meat that's been frozen adds too much water to your mixture. Okay, that should take about 5 minutes. We're just about done. As it cooked, I made sure with my fork I pressed down, keeping the ground beef into very small pieces so you didn't have big clumps. And you have to make sure all the pink is out of the beef. At this point, what I like to do is I like to drain all the excess juices from the beef. add your egg. Now, if your egg is very cold and it just came out of the refrigerator, you cannot add the cold egg to the very hot chopped meat. What you can do is temper it. To temper the egg, you need to bring it down to more of that beef's temperature. You could add this warm beef stock to your egg. So before you discard it, you could temper that. You could use it for tempering the egg. Bringing it down, bringing the temperature actually up to a warmer state, so that it doesn't curdle when you put it into the beef mixture. Okay, so add 1 egg to your mixture and stir. At this point, you want your beef to cool down a little bit before putting it in the phyllo dough. So while you're waiting, you could prepare the shallow half tin with oil at the bottom, a little bit, swirl it around. Put oil in a little dish and get your pastry brush. You could start to unwrap your phyllo dough. Make sure you're working on a dry, clean countertop. Make sure your hands are dry. Okay, it's very delicate and difficult to work with. You have to keep your phyllo dough away from the air so it doesn't dry out and it's easy to work with. So what I do is I take a paper towel, moisten it with water, and lay it on top while I work. You also want to protect it with another towel on top of that. So that the air doesn't hit the surface of the phyllo dough. Okay? At this point, you need to grab 2 sheets. So unwrap it. 2 sheets of phyllo dough. Lay them on a surface. Like so. Use my cutting board. Immediately cover the phyllo dough so the air doesn't hit it. And using a paring knife, you need to cut 3 strips. So that would mean 1, 2. Then you take your brush with oil and you want to oil your phyllo dough. The next step you want to do is you want to grab a teaspoon and you want to take approximately a heaping teaspoon of mixture and put it on the end of the phyllo dough. Like so. Okay. Then with dry hands, you want to start rolling it, but in a triangle form. So this bottom right corner flips to the top left corner. And then you keep rolling it. I like to tuck the ends a little bit, tuck them in so the mixture doesn't fall out. Okay? And you add it to your cookie sheet. Like so. After each time you put the triangles in the cookie sheet, you want to come over with your brush and with your oil and coat the top so the phyllo dough doesn't dry out. If you can't grab two because three are stuck together, then just use three. And add your teaspoon of meat mixture. And oil the top. So, you could arrange the triangles in this fashion. 1, 2, 3, 4. And try going across, spelling out. And while you're working, you could get the oven ready and put it on 375. Okay, we're just about done. They've been in the oven for 20 minutes. You want to cook them until they're about golden brown. I just did a sample because most of them I'm saving in the freezer, uncooked, for the next holiday event. This is a very time-consuming process, so leave yourself a lot of time. This video has been dedicated to my grandmother, Stella, whom I loved her cooking, so that's why I continue the traditions. They were passed down from my great-grandmother, Jenja Saltiel, and I'm passing them on to my family, who love to continue the tradition.